All right, y'all. Last video. Okay, probably the most important one. You got all the stuff set up, you got the process in place, you're getting ready to deliver the message to the team saying, hey, here's a new thing we're going to do. And if you're like me, because I was there, come away with good ideas. You say it to the team, and the team looks at you and goes, okay, because they think it's just the next thing you came away with from a conference or something, but there's no real follow through because you come up with great ideas all the time, and then shit hits the fan and it becomes not important anymore. Okay, we're not going to do that this time. So, what is the process when you get a job form? What are you looking for? And that's what I really want to talk about here. This is an example of a job form that came in at an agency. Some of the things may be different than what you saw on the previous video, but it's pretty much the same. And when you think about the data that's coming in on this, obviously you can visually see pretty quickly that it's a failed job form from a accountability perspective. But if we're thinking about who's doing this, we're talking about either the agency owner or the manager. Okay. Someone is getting these job forms every single day. What does this do for them? Let's say there's 3 LSPs. It is creating a time blocked process for the agent or the manager to look and see what happened the day before for each individual LSP. And you're going to do that off of this document. Obviously, you can cross verify with, a serious quote detail report if you want or whatever. But nonetheless, this is going to give you a snapshot. What's the first thing we're going to look for? Yeah, we're going to do a checkbox here. The first thing we're going to look for is metrics. Yes or no. Okay. Everything we do, you're set up for success is a yes or no question. So if I look at this Shannon lady's document, did she hit 2 of 4 metrics for the day, or is she going to start the accountability ladder process? Yes or no? So if I go in here and I look at this and I say, did she hit 100 phone calls? She hit 50. That's a no. Did she hit 4 households? That's a yes. Did she hit? I don't know why my voice is cracking. Did she hit 180 minutes of talk time? That's a no. Did she hit items sold? That's a no. So what does that mean? She did not pass the test. So what do I do for myself? I notate that I need to have a meeting or sit down with her based upon the ladder or the rung that she's currently on. Right? That's it. This is a game. So now, what's the next thing? What's the next thing I'm going to look at? I'm going to look at the quoted household detail to figure out me as a manager, which call should I listen to? Well, Shane only gave us 1 call, so it's pretty easy to pick which call. But if there are multiple calls, I may be looking at the details of the notes. So like, let's say the notes say something along the lines of, we were too expensive, couldn't get over the coverage hurdle, couldn't go over this objection. Maybe that's the red flag for me to go, oh, I want to go listen to that call, right? Or maybe she has 7 quoted households for 90 minutes of talk time. Red flag city. Is she going through our process? Yes or no? The answer is probably no. Ignore that call. Okay, so you're looking for red flags to figure out what call should you coach on. You're looking for red flags to figure out, are they following the process? What is the process? Is there a script? Is there a sales process that you require to happen on every single phone call? If there isn't one, that's a red flag for yourself. Okay, but you're looking at the quoted household detail to figure out, who am I going to listen to, and what am I listening for, and why am I pulling the call? Like if this thing over here said 1 policy quoted, red flag. If that's not a current customer, we're cross-selling them, bundle quotes should be required inside your agency. If you have a problem with that, you need to fix that today. Okay, not tomorrow. Many ways to do that, but nonetheless, I'm not going to get in the weeds with that. Excuse me. Quoted household detail report. I look at it. I listen to a call. I notate the call. I give feedback on the call when we have our meeting. So I have Shannon's data. I know, based upon what I just saw, I need to have a metric conversation. Okay, a metric conversation. And then listen to the call and give feedback. If I am just a sales manager and I have 3 LSPs, I'm doing this for each individual person every fucking day. Every day. If you don't have the capacity of that, you need to figure out what your capacity is, and you need to do that. You have 5 LSPs, maybe you get to do 1 a day. I promise you, if they listen and or they know that you're listening to the call, the behavior will change. If they know you're watching their metrics, the behavior will change. The problem with your agency is your behavior has not changed. Your words might have changed, but your behavior has not changed. And that's leadership. I don't need to give you some chintzy ass bullshit leadership book or podcast or speech. You fail because you don't follow through in everything. And that's the idea. If you're not disciplined enough to focus on your body being in balance, then business is effective. That's what the standard's all about. That's it. That's the entire thing. I just mapped out an entire accountability process. If you come to me and say, I can't hold people accountable, bullshit. You just are uncomfortable with doing it, and you're not comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's where you need to self-reflect and figure out what you need to fix. And eventually, what happens? The accountability metrics or ladder, the rungs on the ladder, aren't just metrics required. You can have sales process. You can have follow-up process. You start to apply processes that you require for success because you are a smart person and you understand what's happening to consequences. And then all of a sudden, the behavior that you've been trying to develop and get to have happen the last 5 years inside his agency happen overnight because you're behaving differently. That's the entire thing. Figure out how to change your behavior, and then you can figure out how to change other people's behavior, or at least give them blurred lines to stay inside of. Boundaries. Like everywhere, boundaries exist. And boundaries can exist inside your agency as well. You just determine if you're ready for the fight and you're ready to put the energy and you have the capacity to be a leader. If not, put a manager in place. If you don't have the cash flow for it, then you need to buck up and deal with this because this is your number one problem. Not just in sales, service team too. There's all kinds of things we can do. And that's the game. This completes your training. If you got questions, holler at me. Again, you know what it is. I would love to help your team. I would love to help you, but you got to be ready for the work. We only accept people ready for the work. Peace out.